The lawyer said the defense is still seeing new evidence being presented by Minister Parag, and that was never disclosed to the defense, and it will continue to be an issue of fairness.
It continues to be an issue of ambush, and we're deeply concerned about how that will affect the integrity of these proceedings going forward.
Meanwhile, King's counsel Darshan Ramdani said the defense is continuing to delay the trial by raising several objections.
This continuous standing up unnecessarily is continuing to prolong this matter. We could have completed this witness already.
Following an investigation into the March 2020 general and regional elections and subsequent events, criminal charges were brought against former GCOM officials and others for their alleged involvement in attempting to allegedly rig the elections. They collectively face over 20 electoral fraud-related charges in court. Tiana Ko reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
President Irfaan Ali has urged his CARICOM counterparts to direct attention towards boosting border security in order to clamp down on transnational crimes, which continues to plague the region. Antonio Day reports.
We have to ensure we build stronger systems so that our borders are not used as tools to affect other borders and other countries.
That was Head of State Irfaan Ali speaking at the opening of the 47th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in St. George's, Grenada. The outgoing chairman of CARICOM told heads of state on Sunday that the region must work collaboratively to intensify and strengthen border security in order to mitigate transnational crimes. President Irfaan Ali also stressed the importance of doing this.
Fight transnational crime. And to do that, we have to invest in security. We have to invest in border protection. We have to invest in port security. We have to meet all international standards, and we are committed to doing so.
Due to the proliferation of illegal weapons in the Caribbean, Ali said it is time for keen attention to be paid on border security. He called for investment and special assistance to deal with the region's crime situation.
We must also ask for some more to be done on ensuring the guns that are coming into our system are not coming into our system. That requires investment.
The Guyanese head of state also called for restoration of peace and security in sister CARICOM French-speaking territory, Haiti. CARICOM is also offering aid to rebuild countries in the region whose economic and agricultural systems were severely affected by Hurricane Beryl. The new chairman of CARICOM is Prime Minister of Grenada, Decon Mitchell. The Caribbean Heads of Government meeting, which was delayed due to Hurricane Beryl, concluded on Wednesday, July 30. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The government of Guyana on Tuesday released a statement following the conclusion of neighboring Venezuela's general elections. The Guyana government says elections are about people exercising their constitutional right to elect a government of their choice in a free, fair, and transparent process. It behoves all to ensure the integrity of that process through the highest standards of accountability, transparency, and strict adherence to the rule of law, including the rules governing elections, to guarantee respect for the will of the people. The release went on to say that Guyana therefore supports the call for a transparent process of verification of the will of the Venezuelan people as exercised on July 28, 2024. The people of Venezuela deserves nothing less. 2 serving members of the Guyana Defense Force were on Tuesday charged with trafficking 316 pounds of marijuana and remanded to prison. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
The Guyana Defense Force ranks charged are 40-year-old GDF Corporal Edward McCalmont of Kilnville, East Coast, Demerara, and the 24-year-old Lance Corporal John Johnson of Tamari, East Bank, Demerara. The men appeared before a city magistrate on Tuesday afternoon, where they both pleaded not guilty to the joint charge, which stated that on July 27, 2020, trafficking. They were both remanded to prison. According to reports, at around 21:20 hours on Saturday, acting on information, ranks from the special branch and other ranks went to Mandela Avenue in the vicinity of Space Gym behind the Botanical Garden, where they intercepted a Route 42 bus, BTT 27, which was proceeding south along Mandela Avenue. The bus is owned and was driven by McCalmont, while Johnson was seated in the front passenger seat. At the time, they were both fully dressed in their uniform. Police informed them as to why they were stopped based on intel information received that they were trafficking narcotics. Police then carried out a search in the vehicle in the presence of the two GDF ranks and found 49 large bulky parcels wrapped with transparent plastic on the bus seats. Police opened the parcels in their presence and found that they contained a quantity of leaves, seeds and stems suspected to be cannabis. The ranks were told of the offense committed, arrested and cautioned. The GDF ranks were then escorted to East La Penitence Police Station along with the bus and the suspected cannabis, which when weighed amounted to 316 pounds, hence the present charge. Just last week, 2 other serving ranks were nabbed with 154 pounds of marijuana, and they were charged and remanded to prison. Tianoko reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
We have more news for you after this break. Stay with us.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optic Vision Care.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and key.
You don't leave anything to chance. Every day you click it, lock it, and mask up. Now press, rub, and wash with Sterling Super Soap. Our antibacterial formula eliminates 99.9% of all germs and bacteria. Clean and moisturize your hands with 4 refreshing and rejuvenating fragrances. Get super clean with Sterling Super Soap.
Krishna Roth Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Roth Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Guyana. On Thursday, August 1st, all roads lead to the National Park as the African Culture and Development Association, ACTA, hosts its 31st Emancipation Festival. Bring the entire family for a day of African cultural celebration with information, sports, African food, free children's fun center, African craft, fashion, and much more. Come see amazing local superstars like Samuel Midas, Charmin Blackman, Big Red, First Boy, Lambi, Zion Kid, God-Eye, Dynamic Force, Brass Kofi, Joro Dancers, Otella Lewis, Nature Boy, and much more, all backed by the famed band. International cultural acts from Suriname and Nigeria. Come, let's culminate our celebration of the culture of our forefathers with special guests all the way from Kingston, Jamaica, Mr. August Downs, Dwayne Stevenson, and his amazing ensemble. Gates open at 10 a.m. sharp. Adult $1,500 before 5 p.m., $2,000 after. It's a family affair. See you there. Harambe, we all pull together.
You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Welcome back. The Center for International and Border Studies held another round of discussions as the border dispute between Guyana and its South American neighbor continues. Antonio Day reports.
State Advisor on Borders at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, CARICOM, said that Guyana and Venezuela territorial dispute is still unsettled since the Spanish-speaking territory firmly believes that it owns Essequibo.
Venezuela is now required to make a submission response to Guyana's memorial, a way of making its case as to why the actual award of 1899 is not valid. The ICJ has, notwithstanding those problems at the UN, the ICJ did in June 11th of 2024 continued with that long-standing process at the court to give a definitive bring a definitive end to that dispute.
Greenwich at a seminar on border sovereignty and territorial integrity said records show that for more than 6 decades, Venezuela repeatedly affirmed its boundaries with Guyana as outlined in the 1899 Arbitral Award. He noted that Venezuela is trying to unilaterally modify a border that it shares with Guyana. Meanwhile, Dr. Mark Curtin, former dean at the Faculty of Social Sciences, University of Guyana, has raised concerns about the current political climate in Venezuela following the country's elections on Sunday.
This event becomes even more significant given the situation which has emerged in our neighboring state as a result of the electoral process and the existential threat not only to the democratic process in that country, Venezuela, but also to its bordering nations, including Guyana, which face the possibility of a new and larger wave of migrants and increasing pressure on our borders and the social services of the region's small states.
Curtin, former director of the Institute of International Relations at the University of the West Indies, also pointed out a few factors which can lead to border controversies.
There's the view that characteristics such as the location of historical boundaries, the historical as well as strategic significance, and the presence of natural resources have influenced and have most often led or have become incentives for territorial claims.
Antonio D. reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The hearing of the appeal between the Attorney General and the Parliamentary Secretaries Sarah Brown and Vikash Ramkisoon against Christopher Jones and the Speaker of the National Assembly began on Tuesday at the Trinidad-based Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ. CCJ's President Justice Adrian Saunders, Justice Winston Anderson, Justice Maureen Lee, Justice Andrew Burgess, and Justice Peter Jamadar are presiding over the case. The CCJ, after hearing all arguments, ruled that it will determine the outcome in the new term, which begins in October of this year. Feasibility study presented by Ghanaian company to Mayor and the City Council proposes bold revamps of Georgetown's Stabroek market. More details from Carice Gonzalez.
During the Mayor and City Council's recent extraordinary statutory meeting held at the Kitty Market Boardroom, contractor, a Ghanaian company, presented a feasibility study to the Georgetown Mayor and City Council regarding a proposed project to revamp the Stabroek market. This initiative aims to modernize the market, featuring over 1,000 new stalls, a fish market, a food court, more than 300 parking spaces, and 2 docks to support supply chain logistics. Reginald Longden, Technical Director of Contractor, outlined that the new design will include additional accommodation for vendors.
We're doing something that comprises 2 levels. There's the ground and then there's the first. Okay. The reason that we're constrained to ground and fist is because we're dealing with an existing building that we do not want to change. It has to retain its character, it has to retain the volumes, because that becomes the centerpiece. That is what is going to draw people to it.
According to London, contractors' proposal includes the installation of high-level windows to improve lighting and ventilation within the current facility. He emphasized that the project aims to tackle three main areas: expanding and adding more stalls, enhancing tourism appeal, and addressing congestion and parking issues beyond regular business hours.
What we are proposing is that on the seaward side, we have there a specialty fish market stroke restaurants. On the lower section of the ground floor section, we'll have a kind of open cafe type fast food fish specialty restaurants.
The project also considers the Vendors Arcade and Stabroek Bazaar. Longden noted that with adequate funding, the project could be completed within 3 years, leading to a substantial increase in revenue within the commercial zone. The feasibility study was initiated following a suggestion by British High Commissioner Jane Miller. However, Georgetown Mayor Alfred Mentor pointed out that due to the scale of the project, governmental and financial institution support would be essential for its realization. Reporting for the HGP Nightly News, I am Carice Gonzalez.
Join us after this break for more news. Stay with us.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
For the advancement of sports countrywide, $4.6 billion is being invested to provide the environment athletes required to compete at the highest level. This, among other developments, is being supported by oil and gas revenue.
Guyana, on Thursday, August 1st, all roads lead to the national park as the African Cultural and Development Association, ACDA, hosts its 31st Emancipation Festival. Bring the entire family for a day of African cultural celebration with information, sports, African food, free children's fun center, African craft, fashion, and much more. Come see amazing local superstars like Samuel Midas, Charmin Blackman, Big Red, Firstborn, Lambi, Zion Kid, Gadai, Dynamic Force, Brass Kofi, Joro Dancers, Butella Lewis, Nature Boy, and much more, all backed by the famed band. International cultural acts from Suriname and Nigeria. Come, let's culminate our celebration of the culture of our forefathers with special guests all the way from Kingston, Jamaica, Mr. Augustine, Dwayne Stevenson, and his amazing ensemble. Gates open at 10 a.m. sharp. Adults, $1,500 before 5 p.m. $2,000 after. It's a family affair. See you there. Harambe, we all pull together.
You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Thanks for staying with us. The Guyana Association of Professional Social Workers, along with the Guyana Prison Service, hosted an in-depth training workshop for social workers addressing drug addiction and client management challenges. Carice Gonzalez filed that story.
The Guyana Association of Professional Social Workers, GAPSW, in collaboration with the Guyana Prison Service on Tuesday, held a free professional development training session for social workers and related professionals. The event aimed to improve the skills and knowledge of social work professionals, enhancing their ability to effectively serve their respective communities. Debbie Hopkinson, president of GAPSW, in an exclusive interview with Nightly News, said the workshop was timely given the ongoing challenges with drug use and addiction in Guyana.
This workshop deals with client engagement with a focus on drugs and addiction, which will help social workers in Guyana to adequately engage with their clients so that they can come to a workable solution towards eliminating the problem.
Meanwhile, keynote speaker Dr. Bill Thomas, in a brief interview with Nightly News, highlighted the importance of client engagement.
Most instances, we do not treat clients as we should. And because we do not treat clients as we should, clients do not respond to treatment. So client engagement is very, very important. If we get to engage client in treatment, client will do better.
The training session saw participation from 30 social workers and related professionals, was held at the Millennium Manor Hotel, focused on key areas such as client management, history, mechanics and intervention methods, and therapeutic alliance. For the HGP Nightly News, I am Carice Gonzalez.
The family of Gordon Sanko are making claims that he was murdered by the police after eyewitnesses who saw the entire ordeal said that Gordon had no gun and was in no way harmful to the police. Daisy Richards has more.
Gordon Sancho, also known as Don Don 26, a laborer, was shot and killed on Sunday at around 12:30 a.m. in Seafield Commons Lodge by police ranks from the Albertung police station. The police alleged that they responded to a report that someone was discharging a loaded firearm, and when they arrived on the scene, persons who made the report pointed Sancho out. And when Sancho saw the patrol, he took a handgun from his waist and discharged rounds in their direction. However, persons who witnessed the entire ordeal said Sancho never had a gun, but was still shot in the leg and chest. He was also stomped to his head.
Killing this man. Yeah. You understand? The stomping him and all these things. I keep rebelling. I say, watch. Let me even move in this man for me, nothing. Yeah, right, good. Just shoot already. Yeah. I can't no ambulance, nothing at all. I pick up this man. I say, watch, I pick up the man. I can't this man and kill this man. Yeah.
The sister of Sancho, Alexia Sancho, who sat down with Nightly News on Tuesday, said that when they arrived at the Georgetown Public Hospital, her brother had already died, but was alive at the scene of the shooting.
I was told that he only got shot 2 times, and he was fighting with the police. And they normally, when anybody is injured or anything, anybody bleeding or anything, they would normally put them outside in the van, at the back of the van, and 2 officers would be there. But I was surprised that he was inside the van with the police.
Another sister of the now dead man, Alexis Sancho, said that her family needs justice and wants the higher authorities to address the incident.
I'm a nurse by profession, right? When someone is shot, you're usually taken into the emergency room. However, when my sister and my mom got there, he was outside. Contrary to what the police say, he died while receiving medical treatment. He wasn't receiving any medical treatment. My brother was dead, and then they brought him to the hospital.
The body of the deceased is currently at the Georgetown Public Hospital mortuary, awaiting a post-mortem, while an investigation is ongoing. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Stay tuned for regional news.
ExxonMobil Guyana was one of the sponsors of the recently concluded CARICOM Classic Chess Tournament, a week-long regional competition featuring teams from Guyana, the Bahamas, Barbados, the Cayman Islands, Dominica, Jamaica, St. Lucia, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago. We recently sat down with 2 top players and the Ghana Chess Federation president to chat about the local chess scene. Meet FIDE Master Anthony Drayton and Candidate Master Taffin Khan.
Chess is actually booming in Guyana right now because of all the progress that the Chess Federation has made with the chess program in the schools. Right now we've covered like about 2,000 young persons. We've never had so many young persons playing chess at the same time in Guyana. Right, and due to all these chess activities and tournaments like the CARICOM tournament and the Chess Olympiad, chess is more competitive now.
You'll be playing against the best of the best in every region.
So far, I only ever had like 10,000 people in the world who obtain Canadian mass title out 750 million people who play chess. And field mass title about 7,000. I am playing around 5,000 and grandmasters around 2,000 in the history since the so for obtaining these titles is a really hard thing to do.
Just like how a normal person prep for an interview or prep for a job, you're preparing for it all the time, and you also analyze something you psychoanalyze your opponents also to figure out their weaknesses, where they go wrong, the slight mistakes that they make. Because when you're playing at our level, you're not depending on somebody to blunder. You are open that those slight inaccuracies you can capitalize upon to be able to win a game. So it's not easy. You just go sit there, your opponent blunders, and then you win. So you have to do a lot of preparation work before and even after.
While the local scene is quickly expanding, there are opportunities to participate in international events. In addition to the recent tournament celebrating the 50th anniversary of CARICOM through chess, there's another reason why the tournament was unique to these players.
We are home. Many tournaments we go to, we don't get the comfort of own food, and the environment of being next to persons that is rooting for you. You're among strangers, and you have to not act different, but you have to now get comfortable with their type of living and their environment. And it's not easy to do that when you're playing in these foreign countries like in Europe and so on, Russia and so on, because it's very cold most times, right? And we're not accustomed to that all the time. So getting adjusted to it is difficult, but we do pull through at the end of the day and get the results that we're looking for and our titles, right? But yes, homegrown is very good.
My advice is that if you get into chess, start with the end game.
I've actually been playing chess for about 14 plus years now. I learned late. Unlike some of the kids that get the opportunity to learn at 6 and 11 years old, I only learned at 17 years old. 16 years old actually. Right? So imagine if I had learned at 6 years old. You would be so proud of me. You would have definitely known by now.
The Guyana Chess Federation plays a pivotal role in the development of chess in Guyana. Beyond the competition and ranking, chess is a game that fosters creative and strategic thinking. And the Guyana Chess Federation has been working to expand the sport across society, including a focus on special needs students and women.
We had a young girl who became a women's champion, and she said she's now doing her CSEC. And she said her time management at her CSEC exam was because of chess. So, this shows the immediate transfer of what she would have been doing in chess and managing her time is now helping her for her exams.
Guyana, on Thursday, August 1st, all roads lead to the National Park at the African Culture and Development Association, ACDA, hosts its 31st Emancipation Festival. Bring the entire family for a day of African cultural celebration with information, sports, African food, free children's fun center, African craft, fashion, and much more. Come see amazing local superstars like Samuel Midas, Charmin Blackman, Big Red, Firstborn, Lambi, Zion Kid, Gadai, Dynamic Force, Brass Kofi, Joro Dancers, Otella Lewis, Nature Boy, and much more, all backed by the famed band. International cultural acts from Suriname and Nigeria. Come, let's culminate our celebration of the culture of our forefathers with special guests all the way from Kingston, Jamaica, Mr. August Downs, Dwayne Stevenson, and his amazing ensemble. Gates open at 10 a.m. sharp. Adults, $1,500 before 5 p.m. $2,000 after. It's a family affair. See you there. Harambe, we all pull together.
Good evening
morning and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Venezuela. The Organization of American States, OAS, Election Observation Department said it cannot recognize the results by Venezuela's National Electoral Council, declaring President Nicolas Maduro the winner of Sunday's disputed vote. The 35-member regional body, which is to meet about Venezuela on Wednesday, said Venezuela's National Election Council, CNE, had shown itself biased towards the government. The CNE said Maduro had won with 51% of votes, but the opposition said the 73% of vote tallies to which it has access showed its candidate Edmundo Gonzalez had more than twice as many votes as Maduro. Protests have erupted in Venezuela, while the United States and various Latin American leaders have rejected the results or said greater transparency is needed. The OAS report concluded that without public documentary support for the election results announced, they could not be trusted and should not be recognized. Opponents and supporters of Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro plan to rally as protests and clashes spread after a weekend election was awarded to the long-ruling socialists despite opposition claims of a landslide victory. The renewed instability brought divided international reaction. The United States said Maduro's re-election had no credibility and was mulling more sanctions, while China and Russia congratulated him. Protests began after the election board declared on Monday that Maduro had won a third term, with 51% of votes, to extend its Chavista movement quarter-century rule. However, National Coordinator Freddy Cipollano had been detained. Some protesters blocked roads, lit fires and threw petrol bombs at police, including near the presidential palace in Caracas. At least 6 persons have been killed around the country in incidents related to the election count or associated protest. We conclude with news from Brazil. Indigenous people who see a threat to their ancestral lands from the construction of a railway to carry grains to a port in the Amazon pulled out of a work group created by the government last year to advance the project. The ministry did not immediately reply to requests for comment, nor did the transportation regulator, ANTT, or State Infrastructure Company, Infra SA, responsible for the project. The plan is backed by farmers and grain traders who said it would reduce reliance on roads and lower cost for transporting soy from the farm state to the river ports in the Amazon basin for export. Indigenous communities says they have not been consulted on a project that will affect their environment and lead to deforestation. Brazil's Supreme Court last year suspended the plan pending more studies on the impact of the controversial railway. The government says the railway would help protect the region overall by reducing heavy traffic on the highway joining the same points and cut the use of fossil fuels in trucks. Sydney, Brazil's leading expert on isolated tribes, agreed the railway was the lesser of two evils, as it would bring in less outsiders than an improved highway in a region already a hotbed for land grabbers, illegal miners, and loggers. I am Carice Gonzalez. Thank you for watching.
Election fraud trial day 2, magistrates struck out portions of Minister Parag's testimony. President Ali urges CARICOM leaders to direct more attention to border security. Study recommends modernization plan for Stabroek market, and family calls for justice after 29-year-old Gordon Sanko was killed by police. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Alethea Grant. Thanks for watching.